Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of this week's episode of Supernatural on the CW. This week we've seen Season 12, Episode 17, which was called The British Invasion. And I want to apologize for the late upload, but, I had to attend to some personal stuff last night, but got around to watching this episode as soon as I, got home from work today. And I thought it was a pretty good episode. By the way, I got a couple new posters here. I got a Vikings poster up there, replacing my old 100 poster. But I am getting a new The 100 poster, though, don't worry. That's going to be going somewhere over there. I'll show it when I get it delivered within a week or two. I also have this slasher, poker, horror movie poster right there. Freddy, Jason, Chucky, Michael Myers, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so pretty good episode. I don't think I liked it quite as much as last week's, Ladies Drink Free. But that could be because, I just liked, Claire a lot. Or, I like Claire a lot. So that probably is a factor. This week's episode, though, probably had more progression as far as the main story for Season 12. But the main story for Season 12 isn't necessarily, the best we've ever had, really. It's okay, we get to see, Kelly again, as, the group tries to get a hold of her, to decide what to do. And then we also get more of a backstory on, Mick Davies. We get a flashback to when he was going through the school of the British Men of Letters and everything. We meet the Headmistress. I forget her name exactly. I'm just going to call her the Headmistress. So the flashback to, Mick as a kid was pretty good, we just get, an example in his life of how he was just, basically forced or, forcibly from the beginning to, abide by this code, to do exactly as they say. He was just shut in a room with one of his friends and then left with a knife in there. One of them had to kill each other, only one of them could leave. And Mick ended up doing it. And so that sort of makes sense, with how seemingly cold he was and by the books he was when we first met him. But then we seen his struggle last week with the whole, Claire and werewolf situation and everything like that. So, it tied in fairly well to what they were trying to do, I guess. I did like Mick as a character. I think he developed pretty well last week. We got to see more of a human side to him, and it continued on into this week. So I liked Mick in this episode. It's unfortunate what happened at the end, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. I forget the name of the character, but, she has some, speaking issues. She has to use sign language and everything like that. But, you had seen her prior. It's good to see her pop up again. Dean sort of looks at her and Sam in a way that seems like there might be something between Sam and her. I don't know. It's definitely not the most odd thing in this episode, that's for sure, but we'll talk about the Mary and Ketch thing in a couple minutes. We got the Colt back. They tried to, track down Dagon, to get a hold of Kelly. They do get a hold of Kelly, actually, which is good to see Dean finally, bring her in and everything like that. But, of course, Dagon shows up, with Lucifer's urging. I did really like the Lucifer and Crowley scenes in this episode. I really like Crowley, but I think he's digging his own hole a little bit too deep now. If he wasn't already, he is for sure now. Lucifer is manipulating him seemingly fairly easily right now. They both have really good minds. They're both very clever, but it seems like Crowley wouldn't believe that he would have tamed Lucifer so easily as he tells his loyalish, servants. But, Lucifer, drinks water from the ground in front of him, and he makes a speech to, the loyalish servants, basically just saying, Crowley's in charge, I'm his dog, everything like that. But as he's doing it, he has his back turned to Crowley, he's facing all the minions, and, his eyes glow red, and he's winking and smiling, basically, so he's actually telling them, keep listening to me, okay, guys? Crowley's not really the one in charge here anymore. I have a plan, and that guy's probably gonna die. I don't want Crowley to be killed off or anything, but I'm kind of worried about him here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he is, actually. I'm not sure how exactly it's going to play out, but I think Lucifer will regain control within the next couple episodes. It's good that they've kept Mark Pellegrino as Lucifer. We had one of the servants check out his vessel, the Mark Pellegrino vessel, and it appears that it's been repaired again, so it looks like they know how much people like Pellegrino as Lucifer, and they're planning on hopefully keeping him around, hopefully as long as Lucifer's on the show. Because I really don't want to see Lucifer in another body again. The Rick Springfield thing was eh. And Misha Collins was fun as Lucifer temporarily, but I think it always needs to come down to Mark Pellegrino playing Lucifer. There's no one else better. So I really do like Lucifer and Crowley scenes, however they play out. And I think they did pick a pretty decent actress for the Headmistress, by the way. I'm just not, loving this main storyline this season, with Lucifer's child and, the whole British Men of Letters thing. It's okay. It has gotten better, like I said, with Mick. I do like Mick, or I did like Mick. And Ketch, he's a fairly entertaining character. We see him and Mary actually hooked up in this episode, which I found to be pretty weird. I know we had heard a couple times throughout the series that, of course, John had various circumstances like that, for himself. So I couldn't say that Mary's not allowed to, do anything like that. But it still, nonetheless, felt odd and out of place in a way. And it's kind of already obvious what's going to happen here with the Headmistress's orders to, exterminate the Winchesters and everything. He might initially go after him, but I think he's going to stop or at least hesitate too much when Mary gets involved again or something. So it's kind of predictable in a way, and just doesn't feel right, this romance between them that they started. I don't know. We don't even see them, kiss. It shows them getting back to the room. There's kind of a weird tone. But then, maybe 10 minutes later, they all of a sudden cut to Mary getting dressed again. It was weird how that was edited, too. I don't know. I don't think they're handling Mary the right way this season. Early on, I really liked the scenes of her and, Sam and Dean together, just because I care about the brothers so much. It's good to have their mom back, but they've just wrote her really strangely this season, so I honestly kind of hope she doesn't last for the rest of the series or anything, or they refocus her in some way. I don't know. And as far as Mick being killed, it's kind of unfortunate. He was the character we had gotten the most time with at this point, but it made sense why the Headmistress had Ketch kill him. Because he was going, too far off of what they wanted him to do. He was buying into the Winchesters, their morality, right and wrong. And he was finally getting in touch with his human self again that he lost since he was a kid. Then he gets shot in the head by Ketch. So it looks like the Headmistress will probably be our main antagonist, along with Lucifer, of course. So, not bad, but still, not the best main storyline we've ever had by a long shot. But still, I thought this was an enjoyable episode. I liked the confrontation with Dagon. I thought that was, fine for what it was. I'm going to rate this episode about an 8.7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and got quite a few other videos coming up pretty soon for you guys. Of course, I got to review the originals episode from tonight, which I'll be watching either late tonight or tomorrow. And then I will be doing a review of Legends of Tomorrow Season 1, as well as Winona Earp Season 1. So be on the lookout for that. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.